One other thing that I can do with Firewall D, and I'm going to go back into editing my firewall settings here, is let's just go to my home zone. And again, you can see the tabs across the top here indicating the things that I can do on my home zone. I can add or disable services. I can make changes to ports and add rules based on that, masquerading port forwarding, ICMP filtering. What I want to talk about here, though, is the rich rules. So if you've got a more complicated rule than just services or ports or masquerading, what you can do is go into the rich rules and you can add those. Let's just say I want to do IPv4 only in this case. So the element I want to do is work on a service here. So I'm going to select the service. Let's just say it's IPsec. So what action do I want to do? I want to reject with type. I could certainly do that. In this case, I want to accept with limit. I could say 5 per minute, or I could say 1 per second, for example. Let's just say 15 per minute. So my source is my IP address that I want to accept as a source IP address. I could do an address. I could do a address with a mask. So for example, I could say 172.30.42.0/24. And then I could do a destination here as well if I wanted to do that. In this case, I don't want to, but I could certainly do inverted, meaning that everything other than this would be what the source would be. I can do inversion rules there. So now I can log and I can specify the level of the logging that I want to do. And then, of course, I can limit the amount of logging that I want to do as well. I can also set an audit rule. And if you were using Audit D, for example, as system auditing, you could enable this and it would send messages out to your audit daemon. So once I specified all of this, now I create my rule and you can see the rule is right there. We have the capability to do rich rules, but if you're really just doing pretty basic firewalling, you're going to be talking about services and ports, maybe some port forwarding, and certainly you've got the capability to do rich rules if that's what you would want, where it's really a combination of a number of different elements. So you can add those rich rules in and really add as many as you want. Of course, realizing that the more rich rules you add and the more firewall rules you add in general, the more complicated your firewall rule set is going to be. And complex rules can sometimes lead to less secure firewall installations.